Alright, so Bernie Sanders is playing this game too and has been since time immemorial. Basically, just dangle a carrot in front of people to buy their votes. Make sure everyone knows that if I get into office, I'm going to wipe their debt clean. Oh, and don't worry about paying for it because Wall Street is going to foot the bill. Now, Wall Street is, of course, an easy target because once you say Wall Street, people generally just think of a bunch of men at the top of skyscrapers smoking cigars, and who cares about them? Now, I do have a big problem with Wall Street, and they have certainly got huge problems, but those stem from the Federal Reserve. They essentially get rich off the enormous Fed involvement in the market. When they acquire huge amounts of financial assets and push the price up, Wall Street makes a killing. I am certainly not a fan of that, but that's a story for another time. But the fact of the matter is that Wall Street is not simply populated by the guy on the Monopoly box. Many mom and pop shops, people with pensions, people with 401ks, and your average person is also involved with Wall Street as well. Not only that, those that may want to own a bit of stock will be paying higher prices because, of course, a tax on Wall Street, just as is the case with most taxes, will get passed on to the consumer. You would then see a big decrease in the volume of stock being moved, and whatever projections Sanders is making about the amount of revenue they'll get will be far lower. There's actually a rich history in government of them thinking they hit a gold mine by trying to soak the rich, and it becomes a dud. It reminds me of that instance in California in the 90s. California implemented a luxury tax with similar thinking that Bernie Sanders is displaying here. They basically thought, hey, here's a gold mine for us. They made their projections about revenue. They took a look at the history of the industry. They looked at the amount of money being exchanged, and they implemented the tax. Well, it didn't work out at all. It was a disaster. People stopped buying those products, so their revenue wasn't even close to what they projected. Not only that, people who worked in those industries, building yachts, gold watches, private jets, etc., well, there were huge job losses in these industries, so it screwed over the middle class. And not only that, the state then had to pay out more unemployment benefits and lost out on income tax revenue, which is not necessarily something I think is bad. So these soak the rich schemes just never work. Bernie Sanders is not offering anything that hasn't already been shown to fail. The truth of the matter is that if anything like this student loan forgiveness program ever passes, you will be paying for it one way or another. And as I said, for as much as Bernie Sanders and his supporters want to say that they support equality and fairness, well, if you went to college, worked like crazy to pay off your loans already, get ready for a boatload of unfairness coming your way. Or better yet, if you never went to college, never took on that debt, went to a trade school, and now have a good paying job, well, you get to now pay for all the people who didn't think things through as much as you did. How is that for fairness? But that is all for now. Like, subscribe, and share the video, and take it easy on this ridiculously hot Saturday. Peace.